Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show. We are coming at you from Madison Square Garden in New York. It was the site of this year's Champions Classic. Michigan State took on Kentucky on Tuesday. The Spartans came in 5-9 all time in the Champions Classic and 5-13 in games played at the world's most famous arena under head coach Tom Izzo. That all changed, though, on Tuesday. Here's a recap of how the Spartans got it done. Prior to the game at the Garden, Tom Izzo said after practice on Sunday, he felt like his team had two of the best practices they have had in a few years, and that led to him being very confident entering the Champions Classic this week. The Spartans came into the game shooting 21% from three, and that would all change against the Wildcats. Jackson Kohler splashes home the three. He had 12 first half points. The game would go back and forth early. Muhammad Diabate with the dunk to give Kentucky a 3-point lead 6.5 minutes into the game. The Spartans, though, would pull away from there. Off the bench, Jesse McCullough is good from downtown. On the very next possession, Trey Fort connects on his triple try to force a timeout. Michigan State was 7 of 13 on threes in the first half. And with time ticking down just before halftime, Kerr Tang beats the buzzer and gave MSU a 17-point lead at the break. Jumping to the second half, MSU led 44-27. Divine Ugachukwu finds Kohler, who sends it right back to Ugachukwu for the easy layup, 58-41 Spartans. A couple minutes later, Kerr Tang driving, goes out wide to his roommate McCullough, drains the three to put the Spartans up 13. Then it was the floor general taking care of business. Jeremy Fears Jr. finds Kohler, who makes it look too easy. Fears had 13 assists against the Wildcats, which set a record in the Champions Classic. Just under 5 minutes to go. Now it's Fears again, throwing it up, and freshman Cam Ward throwing it down. Michigan State rolled past Kentucky in the Champions Classic 83-66 and earn its first win in the Champions Classic since 2022.
We just shot the ball better and rebounded the ball pretty well. And what I'm proudest of with this team, where it's getting a little bit like last year's, very unselfish, 25 assists on 32 baskets. The other day it was 24 assists on 28 baskets. And I still think we had some more upside. I think our running game would get better.
It gave us confidence because we've been shooting so good all week during practice, and everyone took a step on shooting good in practice to shooting in games, because that's something, we've been like, okay, shots will fall. But the biggest thing is to keep that confidence. After last game, I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to keep the same level of confidence, even though I went 0 for 4. But when everyone keeps their confidence and they keep shooting, someday they're all going to fall.
I think we showed from the first 4 games of the year that we can defend anybody. We can guard anybody. We can take away everyone's key players. So imagine once we really get the shooting thing under control and we really get it, our shots going, I think we're the best team in the country. And I think it showed tonight. We beat a really good Kentucky team by 20 points at the Garden, the biggest stage in the world. So I think, in my opinion, we're the best team in the country. And it shows every day just because of how we prepare for these games.
When Michigan State played San Jose State last week, they had a 23-point lead at halftime and then got outscored by 4 points in the second half. It left Tom Izzo very disappointed in his team, especially his 4 captains, and he made sure that did not happen again on Tuesday in New York.
And that was half the speech at halftime. We didn't go over a lot of X's and O's. We went over, I took those 4 juniors and seniors and told them, your legacy is going to hinge on these kind of deals, because last time you didn't do a very good job, and neither did I. So I got after it a little more, and they got after it a little more, and we got after it a lot more.
The first thing we talked about going into the locker room at halftime said, hey, we cannot do what we did last game. We cannot afford to do that, because this is a team who makes a lot of runs, and if they make enough runs, they'll come back and take the game. And we have to learn from our mistakes. I'm glad that happened last game, so that this game we can learn from our mistakes and really push forward and grow as a team.
The Spartans have another road trip planned for next week. They'll head down to Florida to take part in the Fort Myers Classic. MSU will be taking on East Carolina on Tuesday and then face North Carolina on Thanksgiving Day. Coming up after the break, though, we're not done here at Madison Square Garden. We'll continue to talk about Michigan State's very impressive win over the Wildcats on Tuesday. We'll see you soon.
We show up every day to lead, to grow, to build.
Being a Spartan means leading with purpose. It's about trust. It's about team.
It's about showing up. That kind of commitment carries beyond the ring.
Into the classroom, into the community.
MSU FCU understands that.
They're more than a partner.
They're with us every step.
They believe in what we're building.
They're all in.
Become a member at a credit union that backs Spartans.
MSU FCU.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
In Tuesday's win over Kentucky in the Champions Classic, Jackson Kohler led Michigan State with 20 points, and point guard Jeremy Fears Jr. set a Champions Classic record with 13 assists. So while the starters got it done, as did the players off the bench. Kerr Tang, for the second straight game, set a new career high in points. He had 15 against the Wildcats, and Jesse McCullough made all 5 of his shots, which included 2 3-pointers in the victory. Here's more reaction from that impressive dub.
It definitely is going to keep me confident. I just want to make sure I stack these type of games and just keep on building on these type of games. So, I mean, it's still early in the season. We still got a lot of basketball to play, so hopefully, we'll stack on these games.
When you guys see Jesse knock down those 3, especially in the first half, what does that do just for the overall confidence of the group?
It does a lot. Jesse put a lot of work in. We've dreamed of these moments. We talked about these moments, so just to see him kind of step up to the plate and knock them shots down, it was just a great feeling for the whole team.
I just stayed ready. The moment comes. The coaches believe in me. Players lean on me, and they keep telling me, stay ready, stay ready. So when the moment came out, I was prepared.
What was it like to see Kerr, too, have the night he had? You guys obviously together last year, not playing a whole lot this year, now having a big role.
Oh, yeah. Just seeing Kerr have the night he has amazing. That's my roommate. So the fact that I see him go in at night, early mornings, and it all paying off is amazing.
Those my guys, man. Like Jesse, he's been so motivational to me. Just off of the games I've had pretty good games to start the year, and Jesse's been there every step of the way. He's been motivating me, texting me every day, yo, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I told him really last week that, yo, it's gonna be a time where we're gonna need you, you're gonna show up. And he showed up tonight. 2 big threes, big layup, 8 points, 100 for 100. And Jesse showed up tonight. And that's what we know he can do, though. We know Jesse can do those things. And that's why no one was surprised. We were just happy because he puts in so much work that no one really sees. And he goes through so much that, like, no one also has never really seen before. And the fact that he was able to kind of put that all on display today on the biggest stage is nothing but, like, man, I cried when that happened. I ain't gonna lie, I cried right here when I was like, bro, this is amazing, bro. Like I'm so proud of you.
I think for Kerr, this game was huge. Just obviously, he was kind of struggling shooting, which we all know. But one thing about Kerr, he gonna work. He, in the gym shooting every day. So I tell him every time, just shoot the ball every time. If you open, shoot the ball every time. So just him seeing shots go through the basket was huge for us, huge for him, and I think just another aspect of our team that is special.
In Tom Izzo's press conference on Tuesday, the first question that was asked to him was about the state of college athletics with the transfer portal and NIL, and how a team like Michigan State is better off than a team who brings in a lot of transfers and spends a lot of money on players in the offseason. It is reported Kentucky has the highest paid roster in the country, north of $20 million, while Michigan State's roster reportedly costs around $5.5 million. Tuesday was a great example of a team benefiting from the homegrown talent producing on the biggest stage and the chemistry the entire team has on the floor. Kerr Tang, Jesse McCullough stuck it out after a freshman season where they did not play a whole lot. As for McCullough, he didn't play at all due to his redshirt status. Michigan State benefiting from all those players who have stuck it out with this program and proving Tom Izzo can still get it done in year 31.
Homegrown, people that are playing for the name on the front of their jersey because they know the name on the front of their jersey. People that care about the place they're at and the players they're with. I give credit to a lot of people. Everybody does it a different way, but it's funny you'd ask that question because that seems to be the people that are getting the most credit. You know, the transfer portal recruitment is almost bigger than winning games. Not at Michigan State. Someday it could hurt me. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but I'm also, I don't give up on the people I got. And that's what you call development. And that's what you call working with players. And you stick with them, and they stick with you. Jeremy Fears is a good example. Just like Mateen, you know, there were a couple of rough years because that's what happens as you're trying to make a boy a man and make a good player a great player. But tonight it was fun to see some of that come to fruition. So, you know, everybody does it a different way, but I'm saddened that it's become a transactional society as far as football and basketball. But I'm just going to keep hanging in there until it doesn't work, and I'll still get a transfer here and there. I just don't want to get rid of guys that have put in a lot of time and put in a lot of effort. Their loyalty to me has got to be my loyalty to them, and loyalty still frickin' matters. So I cleaned it up a lot from what I was going to say, but I just want you to know that I'm proud of my guys. I'm proud of the guys that hung in there. A lot of them could have left, and tonight they got rewarded for one night. What does that mean in the future? We'll see.
Our most important thing is we come out and our goal is to win every game, no matter who we playing, where we playing, or you know what it is. So our motivation is come out, win every game, prepare every game like we can win.
Coach said there's going to be a football game on wood, so and that's what it was. It was bodies on the floor. We hustled, we out-rebounded them, and that was the game plan, to just out-tough them and punk them, and that's what we did. We punked them the whole 40 minutes of the game, and that's why we ended up winning by the margin that we did, and now it's just on to the next. Of course, we enjoy the win, but now we got to keep punking people, keep making it a staple that's been here, that we have to win games like this, and it's natural to win games like this. This wasn't a surprise to us. We prepared for it.
4 games into the season, and Michigan State already has 2 top 15 victories on its resume. That is not something the football program can say this season. Coming up after the break, we'll keep it here in New York, but turn our attention to the football team who plays at Iowa on Saturday. We'll sit down with head coach Jonathan Smith right after the break.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last Saturday, Michigan State's football team lost to Penn State 28-10 in its final game at Spartan Stadium this season. It means MSU will be taking a 7-game losing streak into Saturday's game at Iowa. Also, the loss to the Nittany Lions means Michigan State has suffered its 4th straight losing season and will not be heading to a bowl game. We had a chance this week to sit down with head coach Jonathan Smith to see where they all go from here. Yeah, we'll just start with Saturday and the loss to Penn State. What did you see in that game, especially in that 4th quarter, that allowed that game to get away?
Yeah, a couple missed opportunities offensively. We had multiple possessions when the game was 14-10, and obviously couldn't get over the hump to get a score and take the lead. And then they put together one long drive that took a lot of time off the clock, where they were able to separate the game to get it to 2 scores. And so some of those opportunities you think about in the first half come up being pretty meaningful because of the way second half went and not be able to get another score.
Obviously now 7 straight losses. You guys are going to be not making a bowl game this year. What is sort of the message heading into the final 2 weeks, even though there may not be a postseason for you guys?
Yeah, there's no other way around. It's tough. There's no, this kind of stretch without the kind of results you want is not easy. But also challenging the group to finish the race. We got 2 more opportunities. I do think we've had a mantra of finding, each week trying to play our best football, get in over the hump, and so that messaging really doesn't change for our last 2 opportunities.
What were Sunday and Monday like? I know you guys didn't have practice, but what was the vibe like with the group and trying to really get back on track?
Yeah, he's still consistent at doing it together, right? Owning the tape and trying to learn from it and highlighting ways we can learn and have to get better, but also highlighting some of their individual performances, individual plays. There's some good tackling. In all 3 phases, there's some things to highlight. Every time you play, it's that way. But also making sure we're locked in on ways we've got to find a way to do it better. And that's what the approach has been Sunday and Monday.
I know you guys typically say you want to play your best football in the month of November. It seems like someone who is right now, Elijah Tautoliver. Yeah. What have you seen from him the last 2 games that has allowed him to be so productive?
I think he's a good example of that, playing his best ball at the end. Some of it because of his approach, staying consistent through his approach because he wasn't getting the most carries or even starting a bunch. But he's come up big in a lot of ways the last 2 weeks with carrying it, catching the ball out of the backfield. Had another big carry and stayed up multiple other ones, protections, added a snap or 2. So, happy for him to be able to stay the course and consistency, and hopefully he continues to play this way the last 2 games.
Was it just a matter of getting comfortable with this level of football for him?
I'm sure there was a comfort level, right? New environment, new scheme. They've got some competition in that room. A couple of guys that have been in the room longer than him and been around the scheme, and so competitively with those guys, I do think that running back room has worked well together because we've asked each of them, and each of them have stepped up in their different ways.
With the quarterback position too, Alessio getting his 2nd start, what did you just make of the way he played? Obviously took a lot of hits again, but what did you just think of the way he?
I did think he played tough, he stood in there. Knowing that he was going to hit and try to deliver some balls, made some good plays with his feet. Even sometimes we focus on he can make quality plays from the pocket, but extended a couple of plays. Think about the scramble that hit Elijah down the sideline, a big play, scrambled for a 1st down vertically. So I thought he played really tough.
He obviously seems to be a little banged up. He's obviously playing through an injury, and Aiden with his injury too. What is the confidence with Leo if he potentially has to play Saturday?
Yeah, I think Leo's got a bright future. He is, he is a true freshman. He's been working hard. He's gotten more reps as the season's gone on. And so, if he's called upon, I know he will prepare and to be able to put his best effort out there.
Whoever is at quarterback up, it'll be in a tough environment on Saturday at Iowa. What do you make of that matchup, and what makes them a tough task?
A lot of respect for the program, the coach. Play a brand of football that is physical, right? Running the thing defensively, hearing the crowd, place, the atmosphere you're playing at. All those things are to be respected, and so that'll be challenged.
With last year's win over Iowa, how often do you go back and look at that tape? And I know the quarterbacks are different, but how often do you use that this week?
Yeah, I think you use the previous year, which we do against every opponent. And so there's some things to take away from that game. They're doing the same thing. They're watching that tape and try to squash some of the things we were successful doing last year, and so that's a part of preparing.
Obviously, the season hasn't gone the way you, the staff, would have liked. How do you sort of stay neutral and just even keel throughout this whole thing and not let things get too high and too low?
Well, there's definitely emotions about the disappointment, frustration. There's no question about that. At the same time, you want to have an approach where you're on in the moment, the next thing, and learning from what you've done and moving forward. And so trying to model that. I look at the work ethic of our team, and I think they've been doing that. Back to work in regards to playing with great effort. This means something. We've come up short. There's no other way around saying that. But does that affect the next day and how you go attack the next week or the next practice?
Is there anyone outside of the staff that you maybe use for just advice to get through these tough times? Or?
Yeah, I got relationships. I got people that I've worked with before those things. I think we got a really good staff, and those guys, and galvanizing together, the staff leaning on each other. We're in this thing and working together.
How do you feel like, too, the team itself has been able to not put it aside, everything that's been going on, but how do you think they've been able to just focus on week to week, that task?
I think we got some good leaders understanding that this thing is hard and putting in the work, and there's still doing that and leading by example. And so within your locker room, the leaders standing out of their approach, and we've got multiple guys doing that.
What was sort of the message after Saturday's game in here? What was the message?
Yeah, I think we talked about, there's disappointment. We understand where we're at, but there's too much respect for the people in this locker room. There's too much respect for the work that's been put in to not finish it for the next 2 weeks. I'm confident these guys will take that approach.
This past Saturday was senior day for Michigan State, and one of the players who was honored was safety Malik Spencer, who has stuck with this program for the last 4 years, despite there being some dark times for Michigan State's football team. We'll sit down with Spencer coming up right after the break.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
In today's day and age where the transfer portal and NIL is such a big topic, it's easy for a lot of players to jump ship when things are not going well. That is something Malik Spencer has not done during his time at Michigan State. Despite there being a lot of losing over the last 4 years, Spencer has stuck with this program, and he sat down with our Kara Adams recently to talk about his time here in East Lansing.
Malik Spencer is one of the few true seniors on this year's Michigan State football team. The safety is one of the few players with no extra COVID year, and he never redshirted.
Before coming to Michigan State, I never thought I would come up to Michigan State, just because it's so far, like, it's cold. Like, I grew up watching SEC football, like Georgia, Bama, LSU, teams like that.
The Buford, Georgia native knew he was capable of taking his skills to the next level and received 20 offers out of high school.
Really just getting to high school, I knew I could do it at the next level. Buford is big, like it's a big school. Like, people go there and go to college, like it's known for that. So really, once I stepped on campus my freshman year, I knew the sky was the limit.
Spencer originally committed to the University of Colorado, and when Mel Tucker was hired by Michigan State, Spencer followed him to East Lansing.
I really just liked the Coach Tuck approach to it. Like, he was an SEC coach, coming to the Big Ten, trying to make something big. So I like that approach, and I like how they was moving.
When the coaching change happens, what intrigued you about Coach Smith, Coach Rossi, just to stay around at Michigan State?
Really just the type of coaches they are. Like if I was to leave and go somewhere else, the type of coaches that they are would be the coaches that I was going to look for. So it's just like, if they are what I want, what am I? You feel me? What am I leaving for? So I feel like it was just real business, like real, just real, like just let's compete and win.
What's it like working with Coach Blue, Coach James, and Rossi, and just kind of the whole defensive staff this season?
It's actually been a good experience. I actually wish I came into Michigan State to Coach Rossi, honestly. I like Rossi a lot. I like Coach Blue a lot and Coach Adams, but working with Rossi, I don't know if I'm just getting older, but I'm just starting to understand defense and just understand what the goal is. You feel me? Like, like first, second down, it isn't the same goal as third down. So just starting to understand a little bit more and just being able to put the chess pieces together. You feel me? Like, just understand why I'm doing this and how I'm doing it.
A defensive staff that has helped him grow on the field.
Really just football IQ, honestly, just being able to understand, like, the patterns and traces of not even just the offense, but just my specific guy. Like, I can say route recognition was a big one. Playing linebacker in high school, like switching to safety, I didn't really have no route recognition, no sense of their vertical speed. Like, it was just a little harder, but just as you just keep on repping and keep on getting more and more reps, they're doing the same things. The same sport, played for 100 years. They can't really do too much more new.
As well as off the field.
And we just understand, like, this isn't only my first time going through life. This is your first time and everybody's first time. So, things will happen. Don't dwell on things too much. Learn to let things go. Just have patience.
With only 2 games left as a Spartan, Spencer will remember all those he met along the way.
I met a lot of good people here, a lot of people that can help me in my future, and vice versa. Like, I met a lot of great people here. So that's one thing that I can say that I love about MSU. I met tons of great people here. We came to college to go to the NFL. We didn't go to college to stay in college. So really just keeping that in mind, really knowing it's something bigger out there, something more, and and really just being able to just tell yourself at the end of your 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, however long it take you, really just being able to, like, I don't want to look back with regrets. Like, I wish I would have went harder. I wish I would have, nah. So this is my freshman year of college. I told myself there'll be no regrets in that way. So day in, day out, it's time to go.
Spencer will take what he learned during his time in East Lansing to wherever his life takes him next.
As we mentioned earlier, Michigan State will be taking a 7-game losing streak into Saturday's game at Iowa. And if the Spartans are unable to get a victory on Saturday, it'll be the first time in 43 years they have lost 8 straight games. So here's to hoping that does not happen on Saturday. That'll be it for this week's show. As always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you back in East Lansing next week.
Now, the play of the week, sponsored by Chupan & Sons.
Here's the lob. Oh, finish! Over the top by Cam Ward. And no panic on the part of Jeremy Fears. No panic at all as that shot clock was going down. What a find.
At Michigan State, we don't just chase dreams.
We build them together.
MSU FCU stands with us.
In every season, on every field, every dream.
MSU FCU Women of Sparta
is more than a program.
It's a movement.
We're creating the next generation of leaders because when Spartans support Spartans, there's nothing we can't do.
This is what strength looks like.
This is Women of Sparta.